Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is now 10 a.m. in Australia because we've gone into daylight saving, or 1 a.m. I believe, if you're in the UK or Europe. I hope all you guys and girls are well. I hope you're all staying socially isolated. Oh, what a world we live in now. As always, though, do remember, guys, if you miss the live streams, you can always catch up and watch the videos by clicking the videos tab at the top of my Twitch page. I always upload my previous streams to Twitch after the stream. So if you ever do miss them, you can catch up that way. Also, remember, if you have any questions while I'm working, please feel free to pop into chat and ask me if I can help you in any way. I'm happy to try. If you just want to pop in and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. We're going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game, which is available to wishlist now on Steam. Either type !Steam in Twitch chat to get a link to the Steam store page, or click the graphic in my panels below my stream. You can get a link to go to the Steam store page that way. We're working on the study for that game at the moment in 3D Studio Max and in Substance Painter. That's the plan. Sorry about last week too, guys and girls. I couldn't stream because I had an eye infection. Bill had the pink eye. So I couldn't actually see my screen. Just 2 secs, guys. My phone is going off. You know what work are like. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, sorry about that. They never leave me alone. Ooh, Smurfberry says, yes, the pink eye, yuck. It was, actually, I had an ear infection, which gave me an eye infection. So, wasn't anything else. And it was this eye, but it meant that I couldn't see anything. I had to put antibiotic drops in my eyes to clear it up. No. You know, what can you do, Smurfberry? What can you do? I was worried actually when I posted to Twitter. I thought, I hope they don't think that it's something else, something more serious that I've got. It was nothing more serious. It was just an eye infection. But it took about 4 days to clear up. So, but I can see now. I can see. It's all good. Look, clear white eyes. I'm all good. Oh man. All right. So what are we doing? We are going to be working on a bird cage for the study, because why not? It's not going to have a bird in it because, you know, my animation skills with birds are not great, as you guys know when you saw me animating the eagle. So there'll be no bird, but there will be a bird cage. We did the terrarium, the vivarium last week, which was for the frogs. So this week I thought we'd do a bird cage, because why not? But before we can take it into Substance Painter to start texturing it up, we have to UV map it. So that's what we're going to do. Let's start by sending it through to Rhizome. Autodesk have released 3D Studio Max 2021. I'm still using Max 2020 at the moment. We never jump straight into a new Max release at the studio. We always wait a little while for the dust to settle, just to be on the safe side. But it does look pretty cool, though, the new improvements they've made to Max 2021. So just putting that out there. And I also want to tell you guys, Autodesk have changed their licensing terms if you're using an educational version of their software. You still get a free license if you have an educational email or you're a teacher. But it used to be 3 years, now it's 1 year. But it's still free for a year, and you can you can renew your license every year and all that sort of stuff while you're still studying. So no more 3 years, now 1 year. 1 year terms. But they release a new version of Max every year anyway, so it's not a big deal. They'll give you a new serial number when the new version of Max is released, provided you're still a student. Screw those guys. That's right. Hey, come on, we can't be too upset with Autodesk. They're giving you software for free. And it's fully functional. There's no difference between the commercial version of Max and the educational version. It's just that with the educational version, you can't use it for commercial purposes. And you still get a free 1-year license. So, and don't forget too, if you are an indie developer and you have a revenue of under $100,000 a year, you can subscribe. You can get the indie license of Max for $250 a year, I believe. So they're trying. But of course, if you don't want to spend any money, you can use Blender. Blender is completely free 3D software. So you got no excuses. You don't have to spend a cent. Alrighty, let's start UV mapping this beast up, shall we? Let's start with these little bits here. Because why not? Okay. Let's try this one. That should work. We are getting a little bit of stretching just here and here. Let's just see if we can get a better result with one of the others. You never know. And that's a better result. I will look underneath, but you'll never see the underneath of that anyway. And again, we're getting a little bit of stretching happening here. Let's just try one of the others. No. I think the best one is probably this one. We'll try this one. We didn't try this one. We might actually go with this one, even though we are getting a bit more stretching happening here. We're not getting the stretching happening here, so I think this is the best one. And you see most of that anyway is being hidden by the pole. Okay, let us move to let's move to the feet, I guess. Let's try this one again. Again, we're getting a little stretching here. We can try one of the others, see if it gives us a better result. And that's a better result. So we'll go with this one. So how are you guys holding up? You all okay? You're all surviving being locked in your houses and things? I know it's not fun for anyone. We're in what they call stage 3 lockdown in Melbourne at the moment, where I live. Basically means unless you're going out shopping or you need to go out for work or that type of thing, you should stay in your house. And I'm starting to go a bit stir crazy. I work from home anyway, so it's not a huge change for me, but just the fact that you can't go out, that's what makes me stir crazy. Not the fact that I want to go out, just that I can't. Mercury says, a bit unnerved that mum keeps going out to the grocery store like nothing is going on. I know people like that too. Yeah, look, it is unnerving. I know some people that are treating it like it's just another normal day or another normal time, and it's not. So, but you've got to go grocery shopping. I mean, you know, we all have to eat. You should try and stock up a little bit when you go shopping. So maybe instead of doing, like I normally shop every week. So maybe trying to shop every 2 weeks is a better idea, sort of thing. Smurpery says, yeah, but you don't need to go like every, no, I don't do that. No. Not every other day. She should start stocking up a little bit more. You know, if nothing else, it's easier for her because she doesn't have to keep going to the shop every couple of days. And it's, yeah, if you're an elderly person or an older person, let's say, you really should be careful. I mean, it affects everybody regardless of their age, but more so elderly people. So at least that's what they say, I think. I'm just doing a bit of an optimize on this UV. Strange times we live in now. Strange times. It'll get better though, eventually. Eventually it'll all get good again. We just got to put up with it until the good times comes back around again. Okay, let's try this one again. No, that'll probably work for what we want. This is going to be metal anyway, so it should be fine. There's no stretching. We should be good. So you tell your mum she's got to start going shopping once a week, not every couple of days. She's got to look after her health. I'm just going to do a bit of manual slicing here because I don't like always the way that Rhizome decides it wants to split a mesh. Generally does a pretty good job, but not always. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let's slice that. Let's do another unwrap. Let's do the same, I think, for the top here. Okay, let's stitch this one up, I think. Oh, maybe not. No, we can't stitch that one. Let's just have a look here. Just going to straighten that up a bit. Okay, back to show everything. Let's keep going. And let's try this one. And again, I think I might do a split here by hand. Might do one on this side as well. And let's select these, and we'll straighten them out a little bit. I'm just hitting the optimize button inside of Rise, and it's probably hidden behind me, but there's a little button that looks like an O, and that's just an optimize. Okay, let's repack it. We're actually going to do a pack in max, but let's try this one again. Let's just try that again. Nope. That's probably better. Okay, let's try this one. No. Nope. Back too far. Let's try this one. That's better. Let's try this one. No, I don't think I really... that'll work, but we'll see if we can get a better result. I think I actually prefer this. This one only gives us the one cut line through the back, so that'll be better. Fewer seams mean fewer problems. And that'll work. Might just do a little bit of stitching through here. We really only need one cut line through the middle. And the same on the outside, we really only need one cut line. That should be good. Okay, what else do we have? Let's do the pitch. I'm not going to select all of them. I'm going to do this piece by piece because the mesh is a weird shape. It'll give the program fewer problems if we do it bit by bit. I think we've got one more branch left to do there. Okay.
Never modern soft coming back with a smack. Beat marathon, I'm a killer on the track. Never modern soft coming back with a smack. Blasting fools never lost his back. Thirsty for blood, even more just like that.
See if we can get a better result.
I'm a killer on the track.
Nope.
Never modern soft coming back with a smack.
Nope. Nope. Oh, back too far again. I think the best one was this one. Not perfect. It's not perfect at all, actually. It's a weird piece of geometry. No. No. I think we may have to stick with this one even though it's not perfect. It's not terrible. Again, it's going to be metal, it should be fine. Most of it's going to be hidden. Okay, now I thought this is what it was going to do. Each of these are a separate sort of metal band, so I'm going to try and do them all in one go, but I'm not sure how the program is going to cope with it, so we'll see how we go. But what I might do is I might do the bottom and then the middle and then the top. I think that'll be a better way to go. Just to try and help the program out as much as we can. Let's try this one. No, that one's not going to work. Let's try this one. This one should work for what we want. Why are you not being selected? What are you doing? Let me just leave that for the moment and look at the top. Okay, now let's work out why the ones in the middle aren't selecting properly. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode to begin with. For some reason, it does not want to let me select these bars through here. Why is that? Why would that be? That's very strange. What I might do here is, because it's not letting me select these inner bars here, it'll let me do them one by one, which is a major pain, but hey. Not sure why it's not letting me select them with the group select tool. That's okay. We'll do it this way. Program wants to be difficult. But what I'm going to do is, when we jump back into Max, I'm just going to double check that those polys aren't flipped. I don't think they are, but I'll double check. Once we've UV mapped it. Okay, let's make sure we haven't forgotten anything. We forgot this little bar down here. I think we got everything else though. I don't think we've forgotten anything. Let's go into isolation mode. Now it is having a bit of a problem with a couple of these for some reason, so I'm not really sure why. So we're just going to have to do them, these three individually. The program's freaking out a little bit. Have I forgotten anything? No, I think we've got them on there. We do have a little stretching here, but again, this is going to be a metal. It's not going to be a pattern, so a little bit of stretching is not going to be noticeable. Have I forgotten my sanity? Oh, no, I think we got every... Oh, no, it looks like I might have missed something just in there. I think it's the bottom of this. Oh, that's why I paste a double check. Now I think we've got everything. I don't think I've missed anything anyway. We do have a bit of stretching happening here. Just check that one bar. That should be better. Okay. I think we've got everything. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think we should be able to send it back to Max and we can do a pack in Max. So let's do that. Okay, let's throw an unwrap down, open up the UVs. I always like to turn off map seams because they're just annoying. Let's get Max to do a pack. We'll use the pack tool here. Let's throw a checker pattern down so we can check our textile density. We don't want a bitmap. We want a checker pattern. And let's tile it, I don't know, let's tile it 40 times. Make sure our bird cage is selected. Assign our map. Hang on. Let's try that again. Why are you not showing up? Okay, that's fine. We have our checker to a standard material up because I put it in the ambient and not in the diffuse. That's why. There we go. Now I'm just checking to make sure the textile density is even. It looks funky, but the textile density looks fine. So we should be good to start texturing it up now inside of Substance Painter. Let's just do a save. We're going to export into our birdcage folder. I'm going to call it birdcage. Let's jump into Substance Painter, create a new project, load up our birdcage. Set it to 2K, compute tangent space. Oh, and now I did forget to actually do the vertex coloring, so let's do that so we can texture it up properly. Okay, I'm just going to collapse my stack. Let's start with these bits here. We'll make those a separate vertex color. Let's make those a yellow. Let's make it a red, why not? An orangey red. The birdcage itself, I want it to be like a brassy gold, so let's do that. So this, you and you. I might make that inner circle a different texture just to make it a bit more interesting, but we'll make that the same brass and we'll make that the same brass. Gold, brassy gold. So let's make that a yellow, which means this, and this. I want to make a different color, so let's make that, let's make it a pinky color. The actual perch itself needs to be a separate material. So let's make that a blue. Oh, let's make it a purple. Actually, I'm thinking I might make the door a separate. Do I want to make it separate or the same? No, I think we'll keep it the same. Then that means we want the central post and these to be more of a regular metal, so let's make that an aqua blue. Let's see if we've forgotten anything by turning Vertex colors on. A couple of pieces I've forgotten here by the look of it. So the top. And what else do we have? We've got the little latch. Okay. We've got some strangeness going on with the perch as well. Let me just let's tackle the perch first, I guess. I'm just going to temporarily detach it. Isolate it. Okay, the perch looks fine when it's detached, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm just going to recenter the pivot and just move this perch out of the way for a sec. I thought so. Basically, it looks like I've got double polys happening here, so that's okay. It's easy enough to fix. We want to go into sub-object mode. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And I'm going to delete them. Okay, so I'm just going to select these little bits and pieces that are not the correct color. In fact, I might do that one as well. And let's make that the green to match, whoops, to match the rest of the cage. The bits that are white, let's make this bit here a separate color and this bit here as well. Let's make that a green. So and the bits that are white can probably stay white and they can be a separate material. I think we should be good. Yeah, I think we should be good. So we could make the base here the same as the purple, I think. Yeah, I think that'd be more interesting. So let's do that. That's better. So we're going to have the gold, brassy gold of the cage. I'm going to use a separate material for the actual base of the cage. Actually, and I think I want to make these little cups a separate material as well. So let's just change the color on them. Let's make them this really dark purple. There we go. Now we should be good. We can turn off Vertex Coloring. I need to reattach the perch to the rest of the model. Let's re-export it again. Smurpery says, not as fun as double mint gum. Seems very quiet in chat today. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? I'm sick for a week and you all forget about me. Not you, Smoke Breather. Okay, we've exported our model. Let's make sure we save our file. Let's just update our project. Bake out our maps. Use low poly as high poly. Rename our material. And for some reason it seems like Substance Painter is frozen here. Let's give it a minute and see if it comes good, otherwise I'll restart the program. Nihilus. Classic. You mean classic for Substance to crash or the classic looking birdcage? This is actually the first time Substance has crashed on me. So I'm just going to close the program and reopen it. And we'll try that again. Let's create a new project. We didn't do any work, so it's not a big deal. Load the birdcage, set it to 2K, tangent space. I'm just going to rename this material. I'm going to call it birdcage. Let's bake out our maps again. It's good to see you, Nihilus. This says Substance crashing like that. Yeah, classic, that's right. Okay, now it's okay now, it seems fine. It might have been because we updated the project configuration. Sometimes that can cause a problem. Substance seems fine now though, so it's all good. Alright, let's jump straight into it and jump into our smart materials. And I want to choose, no, not a mask, smart materials. Generally Substance Paint is pretty good, I have to admit. It doesn't crash a lot. I mean, sometimes it does, but not a lot. Let's go with this gold here. Come on. We're going to mask with color selection and we're going to pick the birdcage, the green. There we go. Now I'm just going to throw a texture underneath of this. Now this says, I think it might be all the materials it was trying to load for you. It wasn't loading any materials. All it was doing was baking, unless you mean the vertex colors. It was just baking out the normal world space and ID maps. That's where it crashed. I wasn't actually assigning any materials to it. I actually think it was because I updated it through the project configuration. Sometimes that can cause the program to be a little unstable if you reload the mesh of a project that's already loaded. Anyway, we're good. Let's get rid of this blank layer at the bottom. Now I want to just bring in a material for underneath of this. So let's go to a plain old rusty metal. Metal rust base, that one probably will work. Yeah, let's do that. We can either throw it on top or underneath. Let's throw it underneath. I'm going to group both of these. And I'm going to mask with color selection again to the green. I'm going to turn off the hide information for the underlying layer. Let's just get in here so we can see it a little bit better. And we're going to throw down a smart mask. let's go with stains and scratches. Okay, let's play with our balance a little bit. Pull back on the contrast. I pull back on the curvature a little bit. What I'm doing here is taking out some of the gold to bring up more of the underlying rusted metal underneath, because I want the birdcage to look quite old and worn. I don't want it to look super new. So just a couple of the bars here and there are a bit more worn than the others through the door. That should be good. Let's move on to another material. I'm going to do a quick save here because I don't trust the program. You never know. I turn auto save off, so I must make sure to save. Let's save it as birdcage. Just in case. Just in case. I'm going to call this cage. I'm just making sure I name everything nice and so I'm nice and organized. Okay, let's find another smart material. Let's go with... Actually, let me look at my smart materials, the ones that I've actually made, see if there's anything here that might be cool. Let's have a look at this one. Wrong button. This one might be good for... let's just mask by color selection so we're not so distracted by everything else going on. Not so much for that. Let's try using it for the actual base. For the post, I mean, not the base, the post. That could be cool. Just get myself organized here so I can see everything. Now let's do the same thing. Let's throw down a plain metal underneath. And let's go with this old iron. Again, let's group them. And again, let's mask with color selection just to the base. I'm just going to turn off the above layer so I can just see the underlying layer, and I'm going to turn off the height and the normal again. Let's play with that scaling a bit. Turn the above layer back on. Throw down another smart mask. And let's go with... let's go with surface worn. Play with our balance a bit. Don't really like this mask. I'm just trying to see if I can get a blend that I like the look of, but this mask is not really doing what I want it to do, so we might remove this mask and we'll go with something else. Let's try this one. Might just pull back on the hide information for this above layer. It was just looking a little bit too bumpy. Okay, let's go back to our mask. It's a little bit better. Okay, let's work on the base of the actual cage itself now. Back to our smart materials. Make sure we do a quick save. And let's see what we got here. Let's try this one. This is the material I created for the for that multi-arm statue that's in the building on the second level. I'm just going to mask with color selection again. I'm going to switch it off. I'm going to leave it there, but I'm just going to see if I can find something else that might be better. Or something maybe we can blend between. Let's try this one. I think I prefer this. Let's mask with color selection. I'm going to remove the one that we had underneath that we're not going to be using. Yeah, we'll remove that one. We might use that one for the little feeding cups. Let's see what that looks like. So again, let's just do a quick save. Try this smart material. Let's throw a material underneath of that. Let's just do a quick save again. And let's just look for a plain metal. Know it when I see it. Maybe something, this oxidized iron, that might be okay. Again, let's throw that down. Mask with color selection. Let's group both of these together. Mask with color selection again. Okay, now let's throw a smart mask over the top. And let's go with surface rust. Again, I'm going to turn off the hide information for the underlying layer. I just didn't want them quite so gold. I wanted them to look a little bit more rusted, a little bit older. I think that's better. Okay, let's look at the bit on the top after we do a save. Back to our smart materials. Let's try this one. Again, let's mask with color selection to the white. It should probably work for what we want. Let's look at this base piece here, and I just want that to be more of a plain metal. So back to our materials. Probably something like this one. Mask with color selection. Let's just play with the scaling a little bit. That should be good. So what do we got left? The perch. Let's back into our materials and see what we got. What can we use? We've got this rough wood, that'll probably work for what we want. Let's throw that down. Mask with color selection to the perch. Let's just play with the scaling. Might just reduce the height information a little bit. And I might just darken the colour up just a touch. Oh, and we forgot these little bits here. Let's do those. Let's do a quick save. And for these bits here, let's go with Edo. It's good to see you, Edo. How are you? How are you coping in social isolation with like the rest of us? I hope you're well, Edo. And it's good to see you. Let's try this one here. Mask with color selection. That should be good. I just wanted a bit of a variation in color between the middle bit and these little decorative pieces on the base. I think that should be good. We don't have to get too carried away with that bird cage. Let's do a save and export our textures. Work, UE4 projects, models, study, chosen, bird cage, export. Edo says not doing great. Accidentally drank spoiled milk and boy am I paying for yuck. Oh, gross. Oh man. There's nothing worse, is there? I know. Oh, look, it's happened to me. Got to take a swig of milk from the carton and it's been off. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Super gross. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Edo. Okay, let's jump back into Max. We did a save, we'll just make sure and save again. Let's move on to something else. Let's do another asset. Let's see, what do I feel like doing? What do I feel like doing? We might move on to the desk, I think. So we have our desk here, but we need to now UV map and then we'll start to texture up. This is Mr. Barrett's desk in his study. His very ornate looking desk. Let's start UV mapping this beast up. Now again, these are all separate pieces and I've kept them separate so it's easy for us to UV map than actually attaching everything and sending it as one object. It's just going to be easier for us if we send them over bit by bit. Try another one. Let's see if we can't get a better result with another one. Now, even though we have more cut lines on using this unwrap, it's giving us a better unwrap, so we're going to stick to this one. Let's send that back to Max. And we can just reuse the same one for all of our legs. Not legs, they're feet. Get it right, Philip. So we did those two, we've got these two left. We've got a little bit of squishing happening there with the blue, but again, not enough that it's going to be noticeable. Particularly on an object quite small at the base of the model, the feet. Okay. Let's work from the bottom up, I guess. Let's try the first one. No, that's not going to do it for us. Let's try the second one. No, that's not going to do it for us. That's not bad, but let's see if the next one can give us a better result. And even again, while that's more cut lines, the cut lines are on the hard edges, so we're getting a better unwrap. So let's send that back. Now let's try the one we used last time again. Should be good. Let's send that back. Send it back. No, not an edit patch. I want an edit poly. There we go. Should be good. Let's send that back. Okay, so what do we got left here? Okay, these are going to be interesting because they're quite unusual pieces of geometry. I'm not sure how the program is going to handle it. Let's find out. Let's start with the first one. No, that's not going to give us a good result. The next one. No, that's not giving us a good result either. Neither is this one. I mean, I know that's I don't know we're going to get a much better result than this because this piece of geometry, like I said, is really quite strange. We're going to have a problem unwrapping it. Just trying to think if there's a better way for me to do the unwrapping max. We could do a box unwrapping max. Just wondering if doing a box unwrap might be better. Let's try that in Max. I just want to see what the result is like. So I'm just going to isolate this piece of geometry. Let's do a UVW map. Not that one. I'm just going to throw a checker pattern down because I want to check what the result is. Let's go with 20 and 20. So yes, I'm keen to try the new version of Max 2021, but just waiting a little while. I think we're getting a better result using Max's Unwrap than using Ryzen. Just going to play with the scaling a little bit. I think that's better. Yeah, we'll use Max for these pieces. So that one and this one. Just going to see if I can't copy the UVs across. We'll see how we go. No, it didn't like it. That's okay. We'll just redo it. Mapping. Scale. Let's just assign that texture as well to double check. Yeah, that'll be better. It's probably the same for these bits here as well because they're also really fiddly pieces of geometry. So we'll do an unwrap. We'll do a normal mapping and we'll scale it up. Let's assign the material. We're going to do a repack after we've UV mapped everything anyway. I'm just double checking as I go. And this one here. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at these decorative pieces here. Let's send those over to Ryzen. Sniper Girl, thank you for the 17-month subscription, Sniper Girl. It's good to see you. How are you? How's things going? Are you coping okay with your social isolation? Strange times we live in. But thank you, Sniper Girl, for the 17-month subscription. You are awesome. Thank you very much. It's always appreciated when you guys and girls sub to the channel. But it's good to see you, Sniper Girl. And like I said, I hope you're coping with everything going on in the world at the moment. I know it's strange times, like I was saying to the guys and girls, that we're living in now with Corona, with this COVID-19, with the human malware. That's what we're calling it, aren't we? It's going around. I was saying I'm in lockdown. We're in stage 3 lockdown where I live here in Melbourne, which means we can't go outside unless it's for shopping or for work. You've got to have a good reason, basically. If you don't have a good reason, you shouldn't be going outside. And they're actually fining people, like, you know, the police, if they catch you out in a public park not doing anything but sunbaking or something, they're fining you like, you know, $2,000. Sniper Girl says, it's been good. Yeah, no, I've been good. I'm sorry about last week, guys and girls, again. I couldn't stream last week because I had an eye infection. I had an ear infection that then gave me an eye infection. So I couldn't see the screen. I couldn't read anything. I couldn't do any work at all last week. Talk about climbing the walls, because if I don't work, I don't know what to do with myself. But I couldn't stream because I couldn't see. But it's all good now. Everything's good. I can see and I'm good. Android Lust, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Are you coping as well, Android Lust, with being locked up inside? I'm assuming you are, like everyone else in the world. Sniper Girl says, geez, are you doing... Yeah, I am doing better. Yeah, no, thanks for asking. Yeah, I had an ear infection. It gave me an eye infection. But my eyes are good now. They're all white. I had the pink eye. And I couldn't see. But everything's good now. You know what? It's because I wear myself too thin. I do too much with the ArchViz studio and the game studio. What ends up happening is I forget to eat because I'm working and I get so caught up in what I'm doing. I just forget to eat. And when I forget to eat, my body gets run down. And when my body gets run down, that's when I start to get sick. So I got to remember to eat more regularly. I mean, I like eating, don't get me wrong. It's just that when I'm working, I forget to eat. And you shouldn't do that. It's not good for your body. Sniper Girl says, eating is overrated. No, you got to eat. If you don't eat, you'll get sick. Like Phil did. You'll get sick. You got to eat. Got to eat. If you don't eat, you'll get sick. No one wants to get sick. So that's my problem. Most times I just get so caught up in what I'm doing, I forget to eat. I'm not starving myself, but I want to eat. I like to eat. I just forget. I can start working at 8 o'clock in the morning, and before I realise it, it's like 11 o'clock at night, sort of thing. I take coffee breaks, but I just don't. I forget to eat. That's the problem. Android Lost says, quarantine is fine, but I lost an old friend today, though. Pretty bummed about... Oh, you mean that they died? That's terrible, Android Lost. I'm so sorry to hear that. That you lost an old friend. That's terrible. I've actually been keeping an eye on what's been going on in the United States. In Australia, we've got about 5,500 cases of coronavirus. But I've been seeing what's been going on in New York in the United States, and it's terrible. There's so many people have died. And not to mention Italy and Spain and all around the world, there's been a lot of people have died. I'm really sorry to hear that, Android Last. Smurfberry says, coffee is not food. Coffee is coffee. Or coffee is food for me. And Sniper Girl says, Android Lost, sorry to hear that. Yeah, how are you doing? Are you okay? That is terrible, terrible. And the same goes for anyone else that may have lost a loved one or a friend or someone that they know because of the virus. It's just, the whole thing is just terrible. Terrible, terrible. But hang in there, Android Lust. I know it's terrible when you lose a friend or a loved one or anyone, or acquaintance, anyone. It's terrible when anyone dies unexpectedly, and you hang in there, buddy. Android Lust says, yeah, more shocked right now. Worst thing about it is I can't attend the funeral. That's the other thing. I mean, there are rules in place in this country for funerals as well. Like, because we're in lockdown, you can't have more than 5 people at a funeral. So regardless of how good a friend or a relative this person was to you, at least in Australia, I don't know about where you guys live, but no more than 5 people can attend the funeral. So this thing is throwing everyone's life upside down. The state government where I live in Victoria have just announced that they're not that school term in which semester 2 for schools is supposed to start next week, and our Premier has just come on television saying that he does not want people to send their kids back to school unless they absolutely need to, like if they don't have internet and they can't do schooling from home, or if they're the child of an essential worker, like somebody that works in a hospital, they can still send their kids back to school. But everyone else has to keep the kids at home and do online learning. So it's throwing everything in society into complete disarray. I mean, I know it's necessary, but yeah, the new normal is very strange. It's very strange. Like I said to you guys the other week, I've never lived through anything like this. It's bizarre. It's surreal. So I'm sorry you can't even attend the funeral, Android Lust. That's terrible. Android Lust says, if there will be a funeral, it's rough right now. I don't even know how funerals are held. No, well, yeah, everything is changing. Sniper Girl says, can say that again. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's surreal. It's surreal. The whole thing is just surreal. I don't know any other word for it. It feels unreal. It's surreal. It's bizarre. Strange. Yeah. Just even when you go shopping, like I went shopping yesterday for groceries. We're allowed to go out and do that. Just the number of people not on the streets or the number of people in the supermarket there was virtually no one around. It's just weird. It's weird to go out onto the street and not see anyone, or virtually hardly anyone. It is. It's like the zombie apocalypse happened and everybody's dead, you know? There's just no one around. It's weird. It's really weird. Sniper Girl says to Android Lust, same, sucks that you're not able to go. It is, yeah. But and again, like I said, they're doing the same sort of thing here in Australia. You can't have more than 5 people at a funeral. The whole thing is just weird. Weird. Necessary. Look, I understand it's really necessary. I'm not complaining. But it's just weird to be living like this. As Sniper Girl says, can't wait till it's over. Neither can I. Android Lost says, it's weird. I haven't left my place in days. Well, I'm the same as well. Like you guys know I work from home. I was going into the studio twice a week for meetings, but we don't do that now. We do them all via video conferencing. We use WebEx. Don't use Zoom. Zoom is a big security risk, guys. Do not be using Zoom if you're doing video conferencing. Use Skype or use WebEx or use something else. Don't use Zoom. Yeah, so I don't do that anymore. I'm virtually hardly ever leave the house apart from going shopping when I need to go grocery shopping. It's weird. It's really weird. Sniper Girl says, well, on Saturday I went grocery shopping. Before that it was about a week. Well, that's what I do. I go grocery shopping every week. I should start doing it every couple of weeks to limit my exposure of going outside. I did stock up on food. I have been stocking up on food over the last 3 weeks or so. Every time I go shopping, I buy a little bit more than I normally would. So my cupboard's pretty well stocked. I could probably afford not to go out shopping for 3 weeks or so if I needed to. But I did that just in case because you never know, in case things got really bad and they don't let us out of the house at all. I have enough to keep me going. But yeah, I'm the same. I'm but pretty much housebound for the entire week now. I still video conference with people, so I still get contact with people from work, but yeah, it's only when I go shopping that I actually go out. You shop weekly as well, Sniper Girl? Yeah. So it's bizarre. Very bizarre. And I can't wait till it's over as well. And not to mention, like I said, all of the deaths that you're hearing about now, it's just terrible, terrible. And I don't want you young'uns thinking that just because you're young, you can't get it, because you can. You make sure you take care of yourselves. I see that way too much in this country, in Australia, with people that are like 20 years old, thinking that, oh, it's only something that kills people that are like 60 or 80. That's just not true. It doesn't care how old you are. People, you know, you're at risk as well. So please, please take care of yourselves. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Don't think it's just something that will kill old people. It won't. I know in the UK, the British Prime Minister, he's in intensive care at the moment because of the coronavirus. I don't know how old he is. Boris Johnson, I think his name is. But he's not like 60 or 80, so you guys take care of yourselves. Don't take risks with your health. And let's all hope that eventually they get a vaccine for it so that we don't have this problem in the future again. You know, with it coming back, I mean. Okay, let us... I'm going to attach all these pieces together now. I think I've UV mapped everything up. We will find out. So let's collapse that stack. And start attaching these pieces together. I did do the top, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Is that here we go? Oh, forgot that one. Okay, let's just reset the pivot. And let's just move it to make sure we've got everything attached together, and we have. Good. Okay, let's do an unwrap and a repack. Let's assign the checker pattern so we can check our textile density. Might just up the tiling to 40. Turn off map seams because it's really annoying. I might just make a couple of adjustments to the textile density. Let's go to edit poly. Select this bit through here, throw an unwrap down. Let's see. Just curious as to what's going on at the base here. I think... Oh, I see, it's a one-sided poly. That's okay. The player is never going to see underneath there, so that's fine. We can save some polygons by not having polys. It might even just be the shadowing by the look of it. Let me just turn on flat shaded for a minute. Yeah, it is. It's just the shadowing. I was going to say I could remove the polys from the underside here if I really wanted to bring the poly count down to absolute minimum, but I don't think it's necessary. Let us remove the checker because we don't need to see it anymore. Let's do a quick save. And let's see some vertex coloring. Oh. Okay, so we're going to go back with the chocolate and the cherry again. The same theme we've used for the rest of the furniture, but let's make the feet. Okay. These bits. Android Lost says normally for something like that I make one with added polygons and one without, then it never gets used again. Let's make these parts of the feet wood. So let's set that color to... Okay. Now this is if you're working in Max, you can't set the vertex color with an edit poly modifier. So what we're going to have to do is we need to collapse that stack. It needs to be an editable poly for us to be able to set a vertex color. And let's set it to a red. These bits here I'm going to make metal, probably a gold. Oh. So let's set them to a yellow. Okay, so, okay, these bits we're going to make a gold. I'm also going to make these a gold. As well as that. Android Lost says, yeah, I made some crappy ZBrush art over the weekend. I'll post it. Yeah, post it. Let's show us. We want to see. So let's make this an orangey color because it's going to be a gold. Okay, and then we're going to make this one, which is the second lot of these little leaves, a separate material color. So let's make that let's make it an aqua. It's going to be like a goldy color, but a separate gold. And then we've got the third layer of leaves behind there. Let's make that the same as that. Let's make that a different color. We'll make that a green. It's going to be a metallic goldy color, but I want to differentiate the different color ID maps. Android Lust says it's based off of a meme. My friend wanted me to do it. Show us. Yeah. I'm just checking the Discord. Okay, let's have a look here. So Android Lost has just posted this in the Discord based off a meme. Anyone new to my channel wants to know more about me, go to phildoes3d.com. You can read up about me there. That's really cool. What meme is it based on? It's not crappy, I think that's good. I like the fabric look you've got going for the character. That looks really cool. I think it looks good. I like it, Android Lust. I think it looks great. Android Lust is something called Awkward Monkey, I think. Oh, okay. I love it. I love it. Snappy Girl says same. Does look good. It does look good. It looks really good. I think you've done some nice work. It looks really good. Thanks for sharing it. So what do we got left here? We've got these bits through the middle. Which will make the same as this bit here. So let's make that a really dark purple, because why not? Android Lust says the original is a puppet, so I tried to make it look puppetish. It does. I can see the fabric looking texturing. It does look puppetish. You've done a good job. You always do a good job though. I've not seen any work you've done that I haven't loved. Okay, so what do we got left here now? I want just trying to visualize in my mind which color wood I want for what. Let's make this it's either going to be chocolate or a cherry, but I'm not sure which. I'll wait till we jump into Substance Painter and I'll work it out there. So let's make this dark green, darkish yellowy colour mustard. It's going to be cherry or chocolate, but just for the colour, for the Vertex Coloring. For this one, let's make it a really dark bluey. There we go. I'm just going to turn on Vertex Colors so we can make sure we've got all of them. It looks like we might have forgotten a couple here and there. Okay. So I'm going to start with these bits here. I don't want them to be a separate color, so I'm just going to make sure they're all selected. Okay, let's set that color to that orange. Looks like I might have forgotten that one. Let's set that color back to the orange. That's good. Andrew Loss says, you don't want to see the bad work. I don't even want to see it. Abigail says to Contigi, hi, how are you? Where's Contigi? Contigi, thank you for the sub, the 11-month sub. I do appreciate it, guys, like I said, when you sub to the channel. So thank you, Contigi, and thank you again, Sniper Girl, as well, for the subs. Nicholas, thank you for the follow, Nicholas. Again, I appreciate it too when you guys sub to the channel. So thanks, Contigi, for the sub. Thanks, Sniper Girl, for the sub, and welcome, Nicholas, and thank you for following the channel. Do remember, Nicholas, too, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, go right ahead. You can type !Discord in Twitch chat, or you can click the blue graphic below my stream and my panels to get an invite link to join the Discord server. You don't have to, but there's a section there, a gallery section, where you can show up your work if you want. There's a tutorials and tips section. If you ever got any questions while you're working, or you know something you're not sure about and you want help, you can ask a question in the Discord. And either I or one of the other mods or one of the other guys and girls or members will help out. Will help you out if they can. There's also a place where you can post links to your portfolio or your art station, that sort of thing, if you want. Nicholas says, my pleasure. Yep, there you go. Just click that link, Nicholas, and yep, there's a gallery, like I said, where you can show up your work. And if I like looking at the stuff you guys make, and if you, provided you guys don't mind, I'll show it on stream. If you post something in the gallery you don't want me to show on stream, just tell me and I won't. Because I know not everyone's comfortable having their work shown to the world on stream. But I do. I love looking at the stuff you guys are making. The whole reason I stream on Twitch really is to encourage you guys and girls to do 3D. So anytime I can look at what you're making, I'm happy to. That's what I enjoy. I like looking at the stuff you guys make. And I want to encourage you guys and girls to do 3D work. Because it's fun. You don't have to do it for a living if you don't want to. It's good. I mean, I do it for a living and I couldn't imagine doing anything else, but not everyone that does 3D wants to do it for a job. And you don't have to, because it's just a fun thing to do anyway. So yeah, if I'm not live streaming, you can either leave me a message on the Discord and I can give you a hand next time I log into Discord. Or if I can't, one of the other guys and girls will. And the tutorials and tips section on the Discord server is actually really useful as well. They're video tutorials and things that the users, the Phil Does 3D Discord users have come across and posted. And some of them are really helpful, really interesting, really useful. Tips and tricks that people have posted on the Discord. You can always learn something new. I'm still constantly learning new stuff as well, and I've been doing 3D for like 15 years. It's always something new to learn. That's what makes it so much fun. Going through here to make sure I have all of my Vertex Coloring done. Oh, I see you hiding there. I see you hiding there as well. Oh, I see you little ones hiding in here as well. Okay, let's make that orange. And it just looks like I forgot to U, so let's do U as well. And something weird going on there. Why are you not coloring correctly? You're right. Just trying to work out what's going on there. I think we just had a double poly. I think that was the problem. This bit through here needs to be colored the same as the desk. Let's do this bit through here. Really, I should just do a select on everything and then deselect the desk. It would probably be quicker. Every time. I keep selecting the one in the background. I don't want to. Okay, let's make those orange. Let's make those orange. Really? Really? Alright, you're really starting to annoy me now. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to deselect. Deselect. Make this orange. There we go. We'll do the same for this one over here. Make this one orange. Okay, let's make these little hinges a separate material. And we'll make them, I don't know, let's make it a greeny yellow. Hey. There we go. Okay, now have we forgotten anything? I don't think we have. I think everything is Vertex colored. Let me just double check my coloring here. Okay, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different metals through there. The middle bits here are still white, but we can leave them white as their own color. Their own material ID color. Alright. I think we're good. I think all of our colouring is done. So let's turn off Vertex Coloring here, because it's just distracting. Do a quick save. Okay, now we can export our desk. It's UV mapped, it's Vertex coloured. Desk. I'm just going to call it study desk. We did do a save, didn't we? We'll just double check. Now we can jump back into Substance Painter. How are we going? Ooh, I don't know if we've got time to start this. We may have to leave the desk for tomorrow, I think. I'm just, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to make a small adjustment to this. What I want to do is I want to throw an overall dirt layer on top of everything. So I'm going to look for a dirt. I'm going to throw that on the very top of the stack. You can see what that's doing, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually adjust the mixing. Birdcage, that's right. We did the birdcage before we started doing the desk stuff. But I just want to throw a dirt layer on top of everything. You're liking the birdcage, Sniper Girl? Oh, good. I'm glad you do. But we do want to do this dirt layer, so I'm just going to start playing with our mixing a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back on the actual mix as well. I don't like that one. Let's try another one. I'm just going to pull up a little bit on the dirt layer. Probably see it best through here. I am going to remove the height and the normal because I don't want any bump happening. I just want the dirt as dirt. Just to knock back the gold a little bit because it's just a little bit, it was just a little bit too shiny. So the dirt layer just helps to age it a little bit more. Knock some of the shininess out. Okay, so let us resave it now and re-export our textures. Okay, so we got the bird cage done, we got the desk UV mapped and vertex colored. So tomorrow we can start texturing up the desk, and if we get the desk done quickly enough, which we probably will, then we'll move on to doing one of the other assets for the study, either the pen, the binoculars. There's the whole range of different bits and pieces that I still have to do for the study. So tomorrow, desk, and then after desk we'll pick maybe the pen or something. We'll see how we go. Android Lost says, sadly I'm in 160p again, so I can't truly see it. Well, I'll post an image to it on my Twitter page. After I upload today's stream, I edit it out and upload it to the video section. I always post to Twitter with a picture of what we worked on that day. So you can check it out on the Twitter, Android Lust. I'll upload a picture on my Twitter. I do remember if you do want to keep abreast of when I stream every Monday and Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. But I do post to my Twitter when I go live. So if you want to follow Phil Does 3D at Phil Does 3D on Twitter, you can get a reminder that way. You can follow the channel, of course, on Twitch and get a reminder through Twitch. And I also post to Discord when I go live. So join the Phil Does 3D Discord and you'll get a reminder that way. Sniper Girl says, oh nice, 160p. Oh, Android Lust, you and your internet. Oh, look, I know what it's like. But remember, you can always watch the videos back at a later date. I'm not sure how they go. Maybe that's better watching the video than trying to watch them 160p. But I'll post the image here on the Discord, on my Twitter page. But I do want to thank you guys and girls very much for hanging out with me today and for watching. I will be back on again tomorrow. We will finish the desk off tomorrow. We'll texture it up in Substance Painter. You're quite welcome. Thanks for being here, Android Lust, Sniper Girl. Thanks for the follow, Nicholas. Thank you, Contigi and Sniper Girl, for the sub. Thank you, Smurfberry, as always, for being here. Hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys take care, stay safe, stay socially isolated, and join me tomorrow for the next stream at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You guys have a good night. See you guys.